welcome to Roll Fair, a D&D podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in. As always, we will start off with introducing ourselves. I am Devin, the Dungeon Master.
I'm Ryan. I'm playing Alton, the Tiefling Warlock.
I'm Brad, playing Arden the Wizard.
I'm Kayla, playing Kaiji, the Debaxi Pirate.
I'm Austin, playing Sheru the Turtle.
I'm Ben. I've been demoted back to playing Reyna, the Human Ranger.
I'm Sarah, and I am playing Sar. Oh, it says it right here. I forgot my class for a second. I'm a ritualistic sorcerer.
Just say cleric. Just fall back to cleric.
Yeah.
Well,
I am playing.
It's been a day.
It has been a day. Anyways, we are picking up where we left off with the party having escaped Karatu Khalifa. They encountered a fae of sorts by the name of something. Where is it? Reyes. And Kaiji was kidnapped by a bunch of creatures from the Shadowfell. And several of the party members have now learned that they have new talents and gifts as a potential possible result of this.
Jerks.
It's not their fault. You didn't choose anything good.
Thanks.
You can have your cloak.
Well, we don't
back.
know. He's so secretive. We don't know what
No.
he took.
Yep. And then really just a bunch of role play for the most part with learning new abilities from feats and whatnot from the level up that occurred. They also found that some of Zaw's agents came up to them and told them that they would like to meet, let me rephrase, she would like to meet them in the
Magwibaro Way.
Magwibara Way. Thank you.
That's one of 3 notes I took from last session.
Thank you. You saved my life there because I couldn't remember it off the top of my head. But we're picking up from there. You guys were heading off to enjoy the Harvest Festival before you go to meet Za later this evening. So, what are you guys doing?
Since we had left off with Alton kind of getting some new abilities, can we jump into like a couple errands he was going to run real quick? Just while he's on his own there. One of the things I was aiming to do before I met that awesome magical homeless guy, I'd like to kind of head towards the Magwibara Way.
Okay.
Since they mentioned it was like southeast of town, and just kind of try to get the lay of the land of the city and see if with my history with the Unseen Hand in Kushako and maybe just with my city secrets background, if I could try to get a sense of where the Thieves Guild might have their hideout here in Nalia.
Okay.
It's just
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
oh boy.
Let me...
Ooh, I'm going to guidance myself, too. Let's see. That would be 15.
15. As you are looking around and you head into the area of Magwibara Way, you go into the southeastern part of the city is generally referred to as Medalla, but there's West Medalla, East Medalla, and Lower Medalla. And Magwibara Way is right in the middle of West and East Medalla. And this is, for pure clarity, this is basically the slums of the city. This is where people who don't have a lot live. And for the most part, they seem happy, but lots of cutthroats and thieves in this area as well. So as you look around, you see several people in the area that have this garb that has the black cloak-like image of them, and it's not something that like perfectly stands out. It's not like people are just running around in a black cloak, but you notice that there is a specific look to some people where they have black on a specific spot of their arm or their shoulder. Maybe there's a hood up, and it seems that they are somewhat interlinked, possibly. But there's a lot more of them in this area than in others.
Does it look like those black marks actually have some kind of structure to them, or is it just kind of
it's fine clothing? Like a lot of it, sometimes it's leather, sometimes it's just cloth. But it seems from your experience with the Thieves Guild in Kushako that this is some sort of indication of belonging to an identification among those within this guild, whatever it may be.
All right, I think I'll just I'm gonna try and just find a spot to do a little bit of bird watching, so to speak. Hang out, try to look inconspicuous, but
Okay.
I had disguise self as a human, I think, so just keep that up, but just watch for like an hour or so, see if I can get a sense of where they're coming and going from.
Okay, sounds good.
Before I head back to the group.
Go ahead and make an investigation check with advantage.
Okay. Both are bad. I should have guided myself. That's a 11.
Okay. With your time spent, you're able to pick up the coming and going of some people. It seems that they're kind of going all over. You're not 100% sure what that means, but you can't pick out like a specific location that's maybe the headquarters. But like these people are literally going to all sorts of different buildings and vendors as you're watching.
All right. On my way back, do I happen to pass by a guard or someone who looks maybe really, really rich?
Go ahead and make an investigation check again.
Okay. Guidance. That is a D8, not a D4. Let me roll the right thing. Oh, that's a natural 1.
Beautiful. You are distracted by the experience you've been having. You've been intently watching for a while, and brain's just kind of tired. So having a hard time finding anyone, or at least maybe a lack of motivation to find anyone.
All right. I'll just, when I get back to the group. Anyone, one of you really strong? Want to try something out for me?
I am always here for the strength.
All right. Let's see how this works, and I will immediately do a telekinetic shove on Arden.
Okay.
You have to make a strength saving throw.
Are you serious?
Hey, you said you were strong.
A strength saving throw. That's not bad. 18.
Oh my gosh. Well,
That'll make you feel good.
that doesn't work at all. That DC was only 14, so I think you just probably feel a little shove on you and nothing happens.
Was that supposed to feel like something?
I don't know.
I mean, the gust, I think, did a bit more than whatever that was supposed to be.
Kind of new to this. Let me try it one more time.
Happens to everyone.
Why don't you can willingly fail the save? You want to try that?
Make me feel good.
Do you want to do it?
to follow
It's like a trust fall kind of thing.
I'll trust fall you.
All right. Well, let's just make sure you have good balance. Or someone catch Asar, and I will shove you back 5 feet.
Oh wow! So I got an 18.
But you can willingly fail it.
Okay, I'm willingly failing it.
All right. Well, all that happens is you get shoved back 5 feet.
Snap! Does anyone catch me?
Well, are you gonna fall, or are you gonna just stumble backward?
Oh, I'm falling. I'm going like.
I'll just shove you in. I'll shove you into Raina's arms.
She's playing, soccer. or basketball, either one.
Yeah, I'm obviously playing it safe. and playing goalie in this case, I guess.
That was two sports references in the same sentence.
I don't know.
This push force, did it hurt? Did it hurt me?
You just got pushed.
Oh.
It was forceful, but it didn't cause damage.
Right into Rainer's arms.
Oh, I fell over.
I can do that anytime you'd like, whenever you need that little nudge.
We shall be discussing when we can use this more often, I'm sure. It's quite pleasant, thank you.
Sometimes you just need a shove in the relationship. You just push them over the edge.
Is there a relationship now?
Well, obviously, we need to use it on you and
We're already a couple.
you and Sheru, obviously.
I mean, no.
Sheru, I'm shocked.
No, you're not.
I know.
Rainer, are you still holding on to SR?
Yes.
Well, then I'm going to cast Hold Person on the two of them.
Can you do it on both of them?
Yep, I can cast it at level 2. Oh, no, that's not until I get level 3, because it's a level 2 spell.
Oh.
That would have been fun.
I'll cast Hold Person on
If you're holding a
Rainer.
Rainer and he's holding a
Yeah,
SAR.
yeah,
so
I'm
he can't
casting
get
Hold
out.
Person on Rainer. Let's see if this works.
Oh yeah, you have to cast it, right?
Yep. You need to make a...
That's Scorching.
That is not... Yeah, I did not cast Scorching Ray.
That's a totally different spell.
Wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Well, I mean, I figure I'd probably, because I wasn't expecting it and just out of kind of natural reaction, I'd try and resist against it. And I got an 18, so...
All right. Well, that didn't work.
It's all 18. So
Using all the good rolls at the beginning. when
I
they're
guess
not
so.
needed.
What was supposed to happen?
I was supposed to just freeze him so that he couldn't move. What does it say? Yeah, to paralyze Rainer for a minute. But,
Paralyzed?
Recreational paralysis.
well, I'm getting these new tricks.
You should have
but
mentioned this beforehand. I probably would have let it happen.
these new tricks seem to just not work at all for me. I'm just gonna have to keep practicing it.
It was an interesting display of magic. I think you need more practice, but good work.
My patron needs to make me a little stronger.
Well, we
hear
can
that?
practice whenever you like.
You feel an invisible slap across the face.
All right. So you're practicing. What else are the rest of you doing with the time that you have before going to see Zah?
That's a good question.
Well, last session, I don't know if I mentioned, but I planned on just wandering off and buying some things.
Okay. What were you wanting to buy?
I'm really missing my set of tiles, my set of dice, and I realized I'm going to need some leather gloves.
Okay. Sounds good. So you go over to kind of the the area you guys went when you first got to Nalia, where the artisans are making glass, leather, things of that nature. And this area is specifically, the spot is called, it's referred to as Gozitdan. And you see that the road leading westward is now filled with all sorts of vendors and whatnot, selling foods, just trinkets, amulets to the gods, and you see lots of weapons and armor vendors in this area too, and more in the as you look further west, you see flashes of light going on here and there, but you're able to find what you're looking for easily enough, and you'd pay just regular price for what it is in the book.
Sounds good. So I am doing that while whatever people are doing whatever.
Go
they're doing.
ahead and make while you're there. I want you to make just a quick investigation check.
Okay. Does it have to be investigation?
Yes.
It's not perception or anything.
It could be perception.
I like perception better. Is that all right?
Perception's fine
Great. I got a 9.
because you're not specifically looking for this.
Okay.
So as you're looking around, you see some weapons and armor that you haven't seen before. You see what looks to be a very, very fine reinforced bow. You also see a very fine shield that has the skull of a kudu at the bottom, and the kudu horns along the sides, kind of forming like a triangle, and then bronze and leather wrapped shield in between the horns. You also find some other weapons that are a little bit more unique to this region. Specifically, what you see, the names of these are the Kushako bow, the kudu shield. You see some Tuchawa javelins, a kufupan, an Atramola blade, and a Yurtela.
Could you define the last three for me?
Yes, the kufupan is bone sword. It's a short sword that does bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And then the Atramola blade is a cavalry sword.
Okay.
Essentially, stats for this same stats as a regular short sword, but on if you're mounted, it does an extra d4. Then the Yurtela is what Ben
And
has,
it's a scourge type
which is the
whip.
scourge.
Okay. All right.
Shorter range does more damage though. It's got like little glass shards and rocks and things tied onto the end.
Very rude.
These are beautiful wares you have.
Oh, thank you. Most of them I have received through trade.
I see. You don't what's the word? Manufacture any of these yourself?
I just trade mostly. I'm a merchant. I travel to Kushako sometimes, head into Yaban. Sometimes I go among the dwarves.
That would explain the spread. They're lovely, but they are not what I normally use.
And what do you use?
I will unsheath my toolbar and show him, roll it around in my hands just a little bit. This is my blade. This is what I have been trained in. I'm a little more of a duelist than a combatant, if that makes sense.
Oh, I can certainly understand that. It's a fine blade, no doubt. But I see you have a bow as well.
Ah, yes. It's not my first weapon. I prefer the sword, but yeah, I'm proficient with a bow.
Have you ever tried one of these? And he pulls out the Kushako bow, and it's a hefty bow, like super, super thick wood, and it looks like it's meant for a beast of a person to wield. Go ahead and give this a tug. See if it's to your liking. And he points towards a dummy just behind him, and hands you an arrow.
Oh, thank you. Should I make a dex or a strength on this thing?
What is your strength score?
My strength score, I think so. It's a 12. It's a 1.
So you go to take this bow, and you go to try and draw it back, and you just can't even pull it. It is too difficult for you to wield.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I'm sorry, I mistook your ability. And he just takes it back and says, I apologize. I don't think this is right for you.
Like I say, I'm a little more of a duelist than a combatant.
I can see that. But if there's anything to your fancy, I've got plenty of daggers and whatnot here. So bring your friends if you have any.
Yeah, I think...
I have friends.
I was actually curious if we were already traveling in a group or if you were.
Well, I wandered
around
off.
by
I don't know
yourself.
if anyone noticed me wander off, but... Yeah, I think I see some things here that might interest some of my friends. Well, maybe swing by a little bit later today or tomorrow.
Sounds good. I'm here all week. Yeah, enjoy the festival, and hopefully I'll see you again.
Happy harvest to you.
Thank you. Likewise.
All right, and then you say everything else that I mentioned I can find here.
Yep, easily enough.
Okay. Can I didn't mention, can I find pipes, pan flute somewhere around here?
I'd say easily enough, yeah.
Alright. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna pick up one of those too.
Okay. Just take a regular price out of the player's handbook.
Can do.
What? So I signed up for a storytelling contest. How long until that? I forgot.
It is today.
It is today?
It was 2 days from the time that you signed up.
Okay.
You were at Karatu Khalifa for a day, and now it is...
Okay. And
day.
is it in the evening or...
I don't recall specifically. I feel like it's like 1... somewhere between 1 and 3, I'm pretty sure.
How much time do I have till then?
I'd say you're getting pretty close.
Okay, so Sheru's just going to start heading towards the storytelling tent.
Okay, sounds good. Is anyone else going with Sheru?
Asad will go with Sheru.
I do mention, my friends, I have signed up for a exciting event. I get to tell stories. You're welcome to join.
Is this near anywhere where I am? Like,
No, the storytelling is in the Goritchir Square, and you are quite a bit further north.
well, I'm sorry to miss it. Oh well.
Oh, darn!
I know. I just love how Sheru goes on and on.
I'm sorry, this is Goritchir Promenade. My apologies.
I think I'll tag along just to take a look around the area over there.
You'll have to tell me later.
Okay, so you three head to the promenade, and you make your way up, and they're like, you get up there, and they're like, oh, good, you're here. And you see the same lady from before. He's like, she's just miserable, taking down more contestants, and one of the other attendants is like, oh yes, the turtle made it. The turtle made it. And she's like, yeah, he made it. And one thing that surprised you, by the way, no guards are looking for you guys. No one, not even the ones that were watching you before.
That's too bad.
You do hear, as you walk about, lots of people discussing the explosion at Karatu Khalifa. And it's just the talk of the area. And as you're sitting there, you hear one of the people get up on the stand and start talking about it, and everyone's like, boo! We all saw it, boo! Because this is fables, not so much real stories that are supposed to be told. And she says, "You're up next after this gentleman here, and just get ready, okay?"
Excellent.
So time passes, and the person ahead of you gets up, and they tell an interesting story. And they get up, and you go ahead and make you three make a insight check for me.
Guidance.
Yeah, that's guidance too.
All three of us can guidance ourselves.
I guided myself after the fact.
No.
This is the best I will ever get on an insight check, I think. Got a dirty 20.
Nice.
And insight is... I got a 20 as well.
Okay. So as you're looking around the crowd and looking at the gentleman getting up there, you see that people, as they see him, they just kind of get this posture of frustration or disappointment. You see some people starting to shuffle away. And he begins going into his story. And he's like, "Friends of the Promenade of Nalia, I come to you with a story again of the Kugani. This story is not a fable, it is true. I swear by all of my ancestors that it is. And the Kugani came into existence when the Yabankichi, not the Yabankichi, sorry, the T'Chawi Empire were forming into these foul Yuan-Ti. And the Kugani decided to transform themselves to match their strength, and in doing so, they doomed an entire species of their descendants. They became a new creature, these tieflings. And in doing so, their posterity were doomed to the hells forever. And so, when they discovered that this was the case, they decided that they couldn't leave their posterity in despair. So, they plotted together to bring one of the celestial beings of the gods to the earth and mutilated them, and in so doing, purged their line of eternal damnation. And they live today in the deserts of the land. And we do not know where they are. But I assure you they're out there, and I'm on a quest to find them. And everyone just, like, you see the crowd starting to disperse, like people looking down in their hands, like,
Boo! You guys are boring.
How far are we from him? How far are we standing?
fairly close.
Can I use my spectral mage hand to give him a wet willy? Or...
Sure. Go ahead and make we'll just what do we want? Let's just do sleight of hand with advantage.
Guidance. Oh yeah, that's going to be good. That's if I can add 24.
Okay. So you're able to give him a wet willy just fine. He's like, ah! What was that? And finally someone just comes and grabs him and pulls him off the stage.
It's like that's what happens when crazy people enter these contests.
So, with that insight, what was it? I guess what was the insight for?
To read the crowd primarily.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, with the remind me what you got.
20.
With that, you got a 20 as well.
Yep.
You guys it seems he believes what he's saying.
Okay. So I assume it's my turn now.
It is your turn. You're announced. The turtle, Sheru.
Hello, I walk up onto the stage. Hello, my friends. Today I have a fun story to share with you all. This is a story my father Kaizuku told me when I was a young turtle. This is the story of Menda, the Southern Star, and the beetle who guides our way. Back in the deserts of the Kogzada sands, where the dunes are 20, 30 feet high, was a halfling caravan leader. And he was a great supplier of goods to all these little oases in this desert, and they relied on him to keep these settlements alive. This halfling, Xandar, he had this beetle. His name was Mende, and this beetle was the most stalwart beetle you would ever find. A sandstorm would come raging on, and this beetle would plod along, knowing directly where to go, never being lost. And Xandar, he treated this beetle well. Over the years, this beetle and Xandar aged together, and they were friends. And eventually, Xandar had a family and a child. And this child, he only knew the wealth of this merchant. And while Xandar did his best to raise his child, he also ended up spoiling his child, and his child became cruel and mean. And people would try to talk to Xandar about it, but Xandar, he loved his child, and he said, "Oh, he'll grow out of it. He'll become better." Well, as Xandar aged, he eventually passed away, and his oldest child, Xandad, his spoiled brat, took over the caravan, and Mende, the ever reliable beetle, was the lead beetle in all the caravans. And but Xandad, he started to use a whip on this beetle to go faster, to make these runs faster. He can make more money. And he would whip his beetles, he would whip his servants, and eventually he became a slave trader and became this cruel, cruel master. And then, one day, when traveling through the hot desert, Zendad was whipping Menda, and Menda just stopped. And everything was quiet. And then Zendad yelled at the beetle, telling him, move, get going. We have deadlines to make. And the crack of the whip over and over again against Zendad's shell, against Menda's shell. But Menda would not move. He stood there stoically, refusing to continue. Eventually, these whip strikes caused Menda to collapse. And out of frustration, Zendad cut off his head.
Whoa. You hear a gasp from the crowd.
Zendad then took the head and posted it up against his, put it on top of his caravan wagon and hooked up another beetle to the lead caravan and told it to move forward. And the beetle went forward, unlike Menda. And as they walked the path that they were going to, all of a sudden, a huge maw of a sandworm comes coming out of the sand and eats the whole caravan in one gulp.
No!
Yeah.
Zendad and his caravan were never heard of again. And Menda, the ever stalwart and ever faithful beetle, died refusing to walk into danger, to protect his cruel, cruel master. And Juanabi, the god of light, saw this faithful beetle that was abused and took his soul and brought him up into the stars and created the southern star at the tip of his horn. And that's how we got the constellation of Menda the Beetle, to guide our way through the desert, always to keep us safe and guide us.
I'm just thinking of that moment in the herbalist shop. Till death do us part. Go ahead and make a performance check with advantage.
Put my stats. And I'm not going to cast guidance because I'm storytelling, and I feel like casting a spell while storytelling.
He's cheating.
That and also
It wouldn't work.
Be a neat trick.
someone would notice and like, what the heck?
Yeah, just really guidance.
Natural one.
Not quite. I got 11.
11.
But plus 2, so
13.
13. However, I am going to use my channel divinity to get proficient in it. So 15.
15, perfect. So as you begin telling, you're coming up after a dismal performance, according to what the people have seen. You got the impression this guy's come and told the same story over and over and over again for who knows how many years. So people are a little bit, restless and wandering away. So when you started, people weren't quite so interested, but as you began telling further and further into this tale, you saw that the crowd started to gather back over and, eyes wide with attention. And you've captured an audience that is very interested in this story of Mende, the Beetle. And you hear people start to applaud and whoa! Great story!
Thank you, my friends. Thank you. I hope the rest of these stories that come up will continue to entertain us.
Me too. And as you begin to get down, you see the same gentleman who was telling his story before. He's like, the tieflings are in the Coxada desert. I just feel it in my bones.
Oh, you can definitely go there and check. I mean, I hear it's covered in dunes and sandy and hot. I mean, It doesn't sound like a very hospitable place.
But it just requires money and effort and a party to protect you.
Why are you frightened of the tieflings?
I'm not frightened of them. I want to meet them.
Oh. I thought you were frightened of them.
No, I'm telling the true story.
You see this guy right here? He's my friend. Guess what he is?
No.
He's a human right now.
Oh, you're human. You look like human right now? Okay.
I know a tiefling though. I can hook you up.
We know a tiefling if you want to meet one.
That'd be great.
It's costly. It's very hard to get them to meet other people.
Well, how much would it cost?
How much do you have?
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
I like that.
Or intimidation, whichever you prefer here.
How much do you
definitely
have?
persuasion. That's the same for either. 16.
16? I have a couple gold.
Couple gold. Oh no, it's gonna take at least 100.
100 gold.
You had to go
Goodness.
all the way into the desert to retrieve the tiefling and then bring him back with protection. As you said, it requires a party.
What? I am so confused.
What about 50 gold? Is that a little bit better for you? And it'd be 30 minutes unrestricted access.
Well, not quite unrestricted.
Well, obviously,
The tavern room.
look at some candles.
No clothes.
No clothes is the full 100, but clothes is 50.
Why do you want to meet the tieflings, by the way?
Well, I just have always heard this tale that they were able to offer up this sacrifice to save their posterity, which is kind of how the Kugani became who they are now. But these are the original tieflings. They're the first ones.
I don't know if I've heard the story before.
Well, people don't talk about it. I'm pretty sure the Order of the Qatari Mungi down in southern T'Chawa, they've tried to squash it out, but I've searched far and wide for what I could find, and I tried to get into Karatu Khalifa, but I just was too scared of the rumors. Now it's gone. So
What a
you
shame.
really missed out.
Sorry.
Yes, Katu Kuifu was a beautiful place.
you've been there?
Yes.
No way.
The skeletons were the worst part, though.
Yeah.
Are you there with them?
Yes.
Okay.
You wandered in.
Yes.
The skeletons were not very nice.
Skeletons.
Yeah, and then,
Are you adventurers?
Perhaps.
I mean, yes, we are the Red Sands Adventuring Company.
All right. Well, maybe I could scrounge up some money and we could go to the Coxada Desert.
Possibly, we do have.
You see his eyes start to twitch a little.
I thought you just wanted to meet the tiefling that we procured.
Well, I could meet a tiefling any day, to be honest, but I'm trying to meet the originals.
He is the original.
Is he?
Yes.
I think if you're gonna want us to really, take you there, that's gonna be at least 10,000 gold. Or something.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my goodness, that is a fortune.
We got expenses.
Well,
I mean, I feel like I could live comfortably with what I've already gotten already.
I'll...
But
and he just
but
kind
we
of
do have an original tiefling that we could have you meet.
It is definitely a unique one, that's for sure.
But it's 50 gold to meet them?
That'll get you 10 minutes.
I'll see if I can find some.
Well,
I'll go take a loan from the Arunazorm or something. I don't know.
Assault feels bad. How much gold do you have on you? Like how much?
Like 2 gold.
You know what? You could come meet him for 2. But just to look at him and say hi. And then he can decide if he wants to continue the conversation or not.
How about this? I kind of feel bad for him. I'll cover the expense for you. It'll come out of my pocket.
That's not how it works. No.
You really don't understand the concept of making money, do you?
I mean, I have money for enough for what I want. Why would I need more?
What's your name, good sir?
My name is Zern.
Zern?
I wish Arden was there to show up as a tiefling.
Behold, the tiefling.
What are the rest of your plans for today? Because our tiefling friend is a bit busy until later.
Probably get some free food and, drink some ale and crash out in the gutter.
This sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Sounds like a good time to me.
What time do you think our tiefling friend would be available?
Oh, that's a good question. Say around dinner time?
What time do we
Dinner
have?
time's great.
What time
Just
do we have
for-
our meeting?
And thank you so much for
It's like nightfall.
paying my way.
Yes. For a fellow storyteller, it is the least I can do.
Thank you.
Where's the main square? Where's a place?
The place you guys are going?
No, yeah. Well, I'm just a central meeting place that would be normal to meet somebody in.
The promenade is a place that you could meet. The Metakichi Square. You could meet at a tavern.
Meet back at the Unholy Jackal.
If you can meet us at dinner time at the Unholy Jackal, and if our tiefling friend deems you worthy, you can go and meet him.
Excellent. Yeah, I'll see you there.
It wouldn't
dinner.
hurt if you could scrounge up a little more coin.
Tips are
Before.
greatly appreciated.
I'll see what I can do. Yes. Yeah. You rolled a good persuasion.
So I came in late to this party. I missed the story. I apologize for that. I'm sure it was great.
She is one of his
So-
more interesting stories.
We
Got some good violence in it.
Why should I not be surprised that the first thing I come upon is is our esteemed member of the party trying to swindle more people out of money?
Anyways, here's your 50 gold. I dropped 50
Oh,
gold.
50?
Oh,
All right.
jeez.
That's how much you said it was costing.
Yeah, but I wanted it from him, not from you, Sheru. You're one of us.
Well, that's nice, but I mean, I feel like that was rude. That 50 gold to meet you. I mean, you're nice and all, but 50 gold.
I kind of agree with Sheru
I'm
here.
one of a kind. If he wants to meet me and if he's willing to pay it, then that's his problem.
It's side hustle, Sheru.
It's so dishonest.
I know, I kind of wavered there at the end, but we should so ways that we can possibly make a little bit of spending money, maybe, because we can't just take it from you all the time.
I mean, if we just,
How loaded are you?
well, I wasn't loaded until I sold off those ivory that we got, and then
Yeah, but we
forgot about
shared
that.
that a bit.
yeah, we did that. That's where all the gold came from. I split everything we had, even between the party.
This is why we like clerics.
They're not
Moral
expensive.
clerics.
Uvamars clerics.
It would be great to have sort of like a constant flow of income or something like that.
We could
Flow. Is there a fountain or anything nearby?
What?
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
turn water into gold.
What the heck?
Oh, I don't need it because I don't have any proficiencies. Darn it! 5. Does anyone see a fountain nearby? I don't see anything.
Yeah, as you look, that you don't see anything in particular. You see like a well and whatnot, but nothing like a fountain per se.
Would I remember seeing a fountain from the walking I did?
Not on the area that you were at. You would have seen plenty of wells though.
Fountains everywhere in the Chandelier City. Anyway, just another reason why I need to go home soon. Sure, do you have I need just some water. Just need a little bit of water.
Yes. Here's my water skin.
So using just like some hand movements, Asa takes the water and just like starts to like water bend it. Just like takes it out of the thing.
Fascinating.
And Asar is classically trained in dance, so she is going to stick just like a bag out for some tips, and then for the next couple minutes, I'm just going to be dancing with water.
I always miss the best
I'll put a
ones.
few coins in the bag.
I'm not even
it
there either.
Looks like I'm taking tips.
Some of Sheru's coins.
It's called Prime the Pump.
Okay, go ahead and make a performance check for me.
Damn it! Okay.
Everything's a check.
Guidance.
Everything's a check.
I just guidance you. So ha.
Okay, performance.
D4.
Sherry, you can keep this money though. Just to say that I'm buying some support from you if I'm ever hurt.
Of course.
Nice.
Yes.
All right.
I'm asking you to heal me for once in your life.
I guess I could prepare some healing spells. I mean,
It's
18.
Kind of a cleric.
18. You do very well. And a crowd starts to gather. And
Oh, actually, it's more than that because that's just 18 with the guidance. So it's 18. 21.
21. Okay, perfect. Even better. And I would say just with the gold that people toss into the coin purse there, I'd say you probably generate about 10 gold.
Dang.
And
while she's doing that, I'm gonna cast thaumaturgy and cause any flames in the area to kind of dance and change colors. Because
okay, I would say
Light show,
with
yes.
that you get an additional 5 gold from that.
Nice.
And as you guys are listening, you hear some people whispering like, "Wasn't that the spring break girl?"
Get away from it.
It's not even spring. I don't get it.
They're waiting for you to start stripping.
Perhaps I get more money that way.
But we are going to end the session there with your performance there, with earning a little bit of money. Thanks for listening.
You have been listening to Rollfair, a D&D podcast. Produced, recorded, and mixed by SF Shields. Executive produced by the Rollfair team. Copyright 2021 by Rollfair LLC. All rights reserved. Visit us online at rollfair.com.